All right, gents and lasses, welcome to Tactical Rifleman. Again, you know the deal. If you like the video, click the like, click subscribe, all that. I got to check the block for the film crew. All right, this video, we are going to talk about suppressors. Suppressors, silencers, they are awesome. Everybody loves them. Yeah, I know. Oh my God, he just called it a silencer. It's not a silencer, it's a suppressor. Go back and look up the actual patent, the Maxim patent. Suppressor, silencer, it doesn't matter what you call it. They're awesome. They will always be awesome. Right? The advantages they have is, one, they save your hearing. I wear hearing aids from too many bombs and rockets overseas. When I shoot guns, and I shoot guns a lot, I have to wear good hearing protection. But even then, you start shooting 338 Lapuas, 50 cals, things like that, they still wear you out. So, so for all the planet huggers out there, these things do not kill people. What they do is they prevent noise pollution. Let's hug this planet a little bit and let's make suppressors legal. That's what I would do. The other cool thing it does for you is it cuts recoil. So if that gun's kicking real bad, you know, you're trying to teach the wife or the young child how to shoot, and the gun is just kicking, pounding them in the shoulder, I put a suppressor on there. They're not getting hit with that big shock wave anymore, and it actually works. It works a lot better than a flash hider does. Right? There are disadvantages to using suppressors. For one thing, there is the tax stamp. Dating back to Prohibition, pretty well, in order for you to own a suppressor, you have to pay the U.S. government a $200 fee for a tax stamp. You actually get a stamp in the mail and you've got to keep track of it. That says that yes, you are allowed to own one of these fine cans right here. So a lot of them don't cost that much at all. But the tax stamp adds $200 to it. So that's why a lot of people don't run them, but they're really a joy to shoot with. And some of the other disadvantages is if you're running a, let's say an AR rifle that has the gas impingement system, not a gas piston, but the old gas impingement system, having the suppressor mounted on the barrel actually directs a lot more gas up into the operating system on the gun. Your gun's it's going to get a lot dirtier. Matter of fact, you can fire 5 or 6 bullets, drop that magazine out of the gun, look, and your bullets are dirty. Now, that means a lot more carbon coming into it. What else? How's that carbon getting there? It's a lot of increased chamber pressure being backed up into that gun. Now, our M4s that we were running back before I retired, running those shorty cans on them, you back up a lot of that gunpowder, a lot of that added pressure in the guns. It actually really reduces the barrel life, the whole life of the upper receiver on that M4 rifle. Not that big a deal because we're shooting them so much, we're getting them rebarreled, engaged all the time. But just keep that in mind. For your own personal guns, me personally, if I was going to build a semi-auto gun from the ground up to be ran with a suppressor, I'd run a gas piston system on it. For example, Adams Arms makes a great conversion kit for converting a gas impingement AR rifle to one that runs off of a gas piston. So anyways, there's different uses for suppressors. Now, for a sniper, right? Number one, it cuts recoil, like I mentioned, right? If you're shooting those big rounds, the Barrett or the 338 Lapua, 300 Win Mag, that thing, it hits you hard in the shoulder. So it really does cut down that recoil hitting you in the shoulder. Suppressors are also great for, let's say, the assaulters are coming up to the target and your job as a sniper was to shoot the sentry outside. Now, even if you shot him with a suppressor, all the other guards outside would hear that sonic boom, that crack. So we had subsonic ammo for our 308 guns, and with that subsonic ammo, putting the suppressor on the gun, there wasn't enough gas to cycle the action of that SR-25. But you could fire 1 round at a time and it was super, super quiet. So for shooting subsonic ammo through the sniper rifles, again, cans are great. That's not the main reason, though. The main reason why snipers run suppressors is to reduce the flash and that big wave signature that comes out the end of the gun. Now, what do I mean by that? It's really twofold. When you're out in the woods or even out in the desert and you pull the trigger of that gun, you've got that big shockwave coming out through the gun, and you've got all that gas behind that bullet. As a bullet flies down range, all that gas is released out the back. In the desert, it kicks up all kinds of dust. That dust cloud, people will see it. If you're shooting a loophole behind some trees or in high grass, that shockwave coming out of the gun, it shakes that grass, it shakes that bush, and it will actually compromise the location of the sniper. So by running a suppressor over the end of the barrel, it catches a lot of that blast, reduces the signature a lot. And anyways, it'll keep you from compromising that position. The big place where I really saw it was hunting in the Najaf back in 2004 or Fallujah. We'd be shooting in an urban environment. We'd be shooting through loopholes knocked in the walls. Now picture, the sun's starting to go down, the side of the building is dark, there's bullet holes, big shell holes all through the building. You got a black hole, and all of a sudden it lights up, and then you get the crack of a bullet going by. Now you know, out of those 5 holes on the side of the building, you know exactly which hole in the side of that building that bullet came from. So this suppressor suppresses that light signature for those shooting through those dark loopholes. So anyways, I love running a suppressor. We didn't, early on in the war, we really didn't run them that much unless we were going to be shooting subsonic ammo. But I'll tell you what, fast forward 2004, 2005, pretty well from then on out, if you were going to be hunting from a static position, you were exclusively running the sniper rifles with cans on them. Now, snipers aren't the only ones that use suppressors, right? For assaulters, those guys actually coming into the house, you got to remember, a lot of when are we doing most of our combat ops? We're doing them in the dark, right? But you come into the building, right? The building might have lights on inside. There might be some rooms that are lit, some that aren't. You might be under night vision, you might not, right? Now, the suppressors, they do suppress all that excessive sound, but remember, the assaulters, they're wearing their Pelter headsets with their radios wired in. But the main reason why a lot of different units are starting to run the short suppressors on those AR rifles is it reduces that big massive flash coming out of the end of that short barrel. The short barrel AR, not as long as this one, but the shorties, it takes a while for all that gunpowder to burn up. But you start running a shorter barrel, all of a sudden you've got that big fireball coming out of the end of that rifle. You don't have that problem with the longer ARs, but running the shorty ones coming into the house, you had that big muzzle flash, and running that shorter suppressor, it really does reduce that flash, right? So, but it's much more effective than a flash hider or a muzzle brake is. I mean, it completely gets rid of that big flash. What does that do for the assaulters? It helps maintain night vision so that they don't have a big blind spot. It keeps from damaging their night vision goggles if they're still down, and it also helps them maintain their hearing, so they don't need the Pelter headset so much. All right, forward on to you guys at home. Like I said, suppressors are awesome. They're awesome. They're great for shooting at home on the range, but let's start talking home defense. Home defense, it suppresses that excessive sound and the flash. But the main reason it's important for home defense is it helps you, the homeowner, when you're going to check out that bump in the night, it helps you maintain your night vision and that hearing. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is most homeowners, when the home alarm goes off or they hear glass breaking, they grab that gun, they're not getting up and putting on hearing protection. They're not. So by running that small suppressor on the gun, one, is going to cut down a lot of that muzzle blast, but it's also going to keep you from damaging your hearing. All right, now, recreationally, like I said, they're a total joy to practice with. It allows me to shoot in the backyard without pissing off the neighbors. Right? So when the prices on these things have really come down a lot. Right? Like I said, the basic cost plus, but then you got to add that $200 tax stamp. But like I said, I've already lost a lot of my hearing. I want to maintain what little I've had, what little I have left. All the shock waves that have hit my body. That's why I've got brain damage so bad. I've literally been beaten. My melon has been banged around so much. I don't want it to get beat around any more than necessary. So wherever possible, guys, you're going to see me running a suppressor. So anyways, that's overview of why suppressors are around. They're not just to look cool. They're actually a great, great training tool. They're a great, great tool to have offensively and defensively. So anyways, take a look at them. If you don't have one already, you might want to add it to your bag of tricks. So anyways, that's it. That's all we got here at Tactical Rifleman this week. Be sure to check out our Patreon page and follow us on all the other social media. I'll see you next time. Y'all take care. Shoot straight. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter so you don't miss out on anything. If you like the shirt that we're wearing in the video, you can get it in our store.